In this episode of the Discourse, we talk about bowel movements, Blumpkins, beastiality. It's a good one. Is how do people bring up if they're into freaky shit?
Okay.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of shit, so if somebody was into...
Carefully. With tact and grace.
I'm just thinking, maybe this is one way, if you're into poop, that it starts. Like, if you're with somebody new, you have that thing, like, you don't want them to see you pooping.
Well, what we're talking about...
Maybe, like, slowly you bring that in.
Well, what we're talking about is, you're into borderline or over the line illegal activities that sexually arouse you, and you are trying to get your partner in on the deal.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be illegal.
I don't have them just saying
shitting on your chest isn't illegal.
Should be, but
it's just fucking weird.
Yeah, that's what is. How do you go about bringing that up? Maybe that could work.
But then, like, you don't play Truth or Dare with two people. Now you're bringing in more people in this.
You can't play
that doesn't seem like a good idea.
I've played Truth or Dare with only one other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just seems like a. Let's do something sexual, but let's ease into it.
Yeah, it's usually a way just to try to break the sexual ice.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's all that seems like. But I'm thinking, like, for the poop one. You slowly build it up, like...
So the fetish is you want to poop on chests, or get your chest poop on. Yeah, or any body part, whatever.
Poop's involved.
Poop is involved in some way, shape, or form.
But I'm thinking, it starts with, like, hey, you want to give me, what is it, when you give head while they're shitting? What is that?
A grundle?
No, that's not a grundle.
That's a grundle.
That's not what that's called.
When you're taking a shit and you get head.
It's not a grundle.
That's a grundle.
No.
I guarantee that's a grundle.
We're going to date.
What else would it be?
God, no, I've heard
I'm telling you, it's a grundle.
Where did grundle come from?
I've been around the block, my friend.
I don't think that's a grundle.
It's a grundle.
Crotch spiders is the top post.
Because only the foulest of bitches give grundles. That's what I've heard.
I know I've heard something else.
Either way, I don't think a grundle or whatever it's called is the jumping off point.
You don't think so?
You have to. I think that's
because like poop's involved, but not really.
But I mean, I think that might even be one of the things you have to. The space of epidermis constituting the area between. Oh, so a gooch or a tube?
Yeah, so that's a gooch. There we go.
I heard
that's what a grundle is.
I heard it was called the grundle.
This doesn't really help with what is that called?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to Google this. Be prepared for what comes up.
No, I'm always
giving a blowjob while person's on toilet.
I'm excited.
Blumpkin.
A Blumpkin.
Blumpkin.
Okay.
I knew there was a term.
It was something.
Whoa, what's a reverse Blumpkin?
Is that where you give head while taking a shit?
I think so, yeah.
So a Blumpkin.
While you're taking a shit, you give head.
Okay. So a Blumpkin. Either way, I think Blumpkin, you can't jump off with a Blumpkin.
Wait. Urban Dictionary, no. The money shot could occur at the precise moment of final fecal release, thus synchronizing anal closure with ejaculation.
That is some timing.
That's professional.
That is planning.
I don't know how do you even know it's your final push? Like when you're taking shit, you don't know if it's your final push.
I don't even know when I'm gonna come. Shit.
Yeah, that's true.
It just happens sometimes.
That's true.
When the stars
You
align.
can feel it coming most of the time.
I can feel my shit coming too.
Yeah, but your final shit?
Sometimes.
Like I can feel my shit coming, but I don't know. Like, okay, this is the final turd.
You don't know if you're coming or going at that point.
But I think that's a valid way to slowly introduce. Okay, like, oh, so you give me a blowjob while I'm taking a shit.
I still think you have to take baby
like,
steps from a Blumpkin.
But how?
Okay,
where are the baby steps?
All right, I think okay.
How do you go from that to okay?
As
no
a
shit
disclosure, I hate. Obviously, I'm a normal person, so I don't want anything to do with poop. I poop in the toilet and I flush it.
I'm glad we got that out of the way. We
Let's
both are
up.
into Blumpkins maybe.
I don't want a Blumpkin, no.
I wouldn't mind a Blumpkin.
No, I would feel so bad. I already feel bad enough that...
Here's the thing, I'd have to be so comfortable with that person.
Like, it'd have to be my clone. That's how comfortable I'd have to be with that person.
Because I don't want...
I already feel bad enough, someone giving me head and me like trying to come in their mouth or on their face. Yeah. Let alone them with a waft of shit in their nose. Oh God.
See, I've never had a girlfriend that I was I just don't want you to see me shitting. Like what?
I don't care.
What's the point?
Well, I don't give a shit if I'm... No pun. I don't care if I'm in the bathroom and you walk in on me and you're my spouse or
if partner. You're shitting? See, I don't like it
care.
For that.
I don't care.
I don't know. You don't need
at my point, that's on them.
That's true.
I'm already here. I'm already in the trenches. If you want to join me in that foxhole, go ahead. I don't want you to suck my dick while I'm on the toilet, though. Anyway, so baby steps for... Here's how to get a Blumpkin. Baby steps, I think, anyone into shit play or whatever it's called, maybe leave shit in the toilet. And if they
what are they gonna do?
Fuck out about it. Okay, they're not into that.
Okay, okay.
If they leave it floating, you might be onto something, maybe.
Or if they just don't mention it, if it's not a big deal, maybe you take a next step.
Okay.
What's the next step?
I think the next
you missed
step,
the toilet a little bit.
The next step is if they walk in on you shitting a lot, maybe they're into that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
So what you do is, as you're wiping, you kind of play with them, and if she doesn't dodge,
dude, I think you're on.
If she doesn't dodge,
she licks it.
Then you're in.
Then you're like, oh my lord.
Yeah. Then the holy shit moment happens.
I really think half of these weird fetishes like this, though, they just have dedicated websites that you have to go to.
I think people meet on an AOL chat room. I don't know how Mozart did it back in the day, or people with before.
But yeah, before
rooms.
The internet, it was
that was a different time.
Yeah.
Because people were fucked up at it. Pedophilia was a fucking pastime back then. They were just passing kids around. They didn't give a shit.
No. The 50s were a nice golden age.
Mozart.
Nothing happened.
The 1550s.
Oh, the 1550s were definitely
That's
just
what I'm saying.
Fucking doing it.
Way back in the day, they didn't give a shit. Maybe they did on each other, but
then again, that was just more accepted too, especially with women, because if you're a 13-year-old woman, you are a woman.
Okay, well,
there's just a whole different culture.
Right. You only live till you're fucking 27 or whatever. Yeah. Point being aside, they still pedophilia, pre-fertile, fucked up shit.
That's Roman culture too. I like how they were just we fuck boys, we fuck girls, whatever, we don't care.
Well, you got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
But anyways.
Pedophilia is wrong. If you take anything from the show, please say that pedophilia is wrong.
But Blumpkins, shit.
That's okay.
Yeah, if you're into it, whatever.
You're not hurting anyone. Just take a shower after. Do it in the shower.
Just
2 birds with 1 stone. Send
us an email about how you introduce this.
Yeah, if you have tips, call the hotline.
So that brings up the other one we mentioned is bestiality, because that's
great.
not necessarily wrong.
I think it's pretty wrong.
If you're into a dog fucking you, let's just put it that way. Because if you fuck a dog, obviously the dog has no say. But if the dog fucks, is this even a recording? Okay.
Oh my god.
But if the dog fucks you, yeah, it's just slowly moving.
Edit!
But if the dog fucks... No, I'll leave that in.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, but if the dog fucks you, there's no real harm done.
Could
right?
be. I don't know. I never fucked a dog. I don't know.
I'm just saying...
Are there diseases dogs have? Are there STDs that dogs have that we can get? And vice versa?
But that's not hurting. That's hurting yourself. That's like drugs. If I take drugs and I hurt myself, what's the big deal?
Well, I guess.
If you go out and have a dog fuck you and you
A
get an
dog,
STD, your fault. You're bad.
A dog isn't a person, so.
But anyways, I forget the name of it. There's this guy who was killed because a horse was fucking him. But there was a guy recording it and a guy helping the horse fuck him. Which means 3 people got together for horse fucking.
Huh.
How could that happen?
Neighbors.
It's
lonely.
It might have been internet age. I'm trying to think of.
I guarantee it's the internet. If there's a video of it, it has to be the internet.
Dies, yeah. Well, it might be like an old VCR recording. I don't know. I've never seen it. But we're about to get a treat.
There has to be a chat room somewhere.
Horse intercourse.
Horse intercourse. That is a rhyme waiting to happen.
Death by horse cock.
Why are we clicking this?
Oh, we got to, man.
We're not even in incognito mode.
This has to fucking.
We're not even in incognito.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what I was expecting.
Oh, shit.
See, look, there's a dude helping him.
Oh,
my God, the horse cock's so big.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God, this is more intense than I expected.
Did they even lube that up?
They had to. There's no way.
Oh
Does that guy's balls have spikes?
Penis is so much tinier than that horse's.
Oh! God, it went all the way in!
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Jesus
oh, my God.
Christ.
That is a lot of semen.
Damn, it only took like 4 humps and it was done.
Animals don't have time to fuck around.
Jesus Christ. So the guy died from
that.
Jesus Christ, what did we just watch? That was intense. But as you noticed, there was a guy filming.
Yeah.
And a guy helping him.
Yeah.
So 3 people got together. This was old. That had to be kind of old.
Good friends, if you will. Or bad enemies.
2005. 1960?
Mr. Hands. That's what it's called.
Mr. Hands. That's the name. Mr. Hands.
Didn't he get fucked by a horse and like not go to the hospital because he was embarrassed or something?
I don't know.
I think that's what it was.
Corners of the... Yes, I'm 18. Thank you, website. Do you remember back in the day when you first had the internet and you'd go to porn sites and be like, are you 18? Like, when the internet was first around, you're like, yes?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't know if, like...
Yeah, I was born January 1st of 1950.
Yeah, of course. Everybody was born January 1st. The grimmer corners of the internet in the mid-2000s. So it was during internet era where they could meet up.
I could have got my parents in trouble because when you first discover porn when you're young, let's see, maybe I was 13 maybe.
Oh, were you looking up 13-year-olds?
So I'm looking up girls my age, not knowing obviously that's a felony.
Shit.
So I'm like, Google, give me some 12-year-olds.
Is that?
Like,
I guess people have gotten in trouble with that with texting. But if you're a 13-year-old and you have a computer filled with 13-year-old porn,
absolutely,
that's still, man, they really need to rewrite the laws on that because you could literally destroy your life with people's lives have been destroyed from like sexting.
Yeah, and
it's always the guy's life. There's never the girl doesn't seem to ever get harsh punishment because if she takes a picture of herself, that's child pornography.
No, they can still get in trouble for it.
It's one of those things where guys seem to get the brunt of all that. But, I mean, guys are mostly the perverts. If you want to be honest about society. There's female perverts.
Oh, there's plenty of female perverts. There's women fucking kids, like teachers.
How does a husband and wife that are into pedophilia get together
that has to be
before internet?
That has to be an AOL chat room thing.
Before internet.
Well, like I
said,
that
has happened.
Way back in the day, it was commonplace, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're talking
about. But I'm talking like, let's say 1965.
40s, I have no idea.
There's shit that has happened where it's like,
I don't know. They paint it in such a light, like, oh, it was the golden age. No one had sex outside of marriage.
Yeah.
We didn't even have sex. The stork delivered babies.
And then, of course, they have the opposite reaction, which is repression. Yeah. But I'm thinking that happens. The guy just does it, and the girl's like...
Well, back then, you didn't talk about things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't talk about it. If
I think it's an embarrassment thing for the
I'm only
woman.
30 years old, so I wasn't alive during the time. I don't want to say I took a class and I know everything, but I did take classes like humanities classes. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. So, from the perspective of professors and stuff, you didn't talk about things like that. If Daddy slept with little Janie, we just hide that away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So,
which is why it's not like there's been an increase in pedophilia or anything like that. It's just more open. It's more accepted to report when that shit happens.
Yes. If you take anything else from the show, report your pedophilia. So
report your pedophilia. I think report if you've been molested.
Wait, yeah. No. If you're a pedophile, actually, yes. Fuck you.
Still keep that.
Turn yourself in. Be a man or a woman, whatever.
Whatever you want.
Or a dog.
A dog.
What if you fucking underage dog? Is that?
Do you count doggy years?
What if you shit on an underage dead dog? How many
How many laws have you broken?
How many things can you do wrong in?
Oh my god, an underage dog. Sir, in doggy years he was 49.
And how many laws can you break in one sexual act? In one thrust of the penis, how many laws can you break?
Okay, so you got a child.
Uh-huh. A dead child.
A dead child. So we got necrophilia, pedophilia.
A dead slave child.
She was your slave. She has to be a different nationality. So we got
illegal immigrant child.
So that's a hate crime too.
While firing off an AR-15.
Well, it'd have to be a illegally obtained AR-15.
Right, a black market, unlicensed, unmarked AR-15.
With a serial number, serial number scratched off.
While doing mountains of coke.
As you're crossing the border. Illegally. Like, you're right on the line.
While smoking a Cuban cigar.
Your thrust takes her over.
Those aren't illegal anymore, never mind.
Well, smoking a J. Depending on your state.
Okay, this is fucking horrible. Okay.
Oh, that was very nice.
Your penis thrust kills her mid-thrust.
Oh, so it's murder.
Into necrophilia. Rape. Murder, rape, necrophilia, all in one motion.
Holy shit.
We're going for broke.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's intense. I think that horse basically committed murder and necrophilia at the same time.
Charge the horse? Yes. Shoot the horse?
They probably did shoot the horse.
He shot that guy.
Dude, there was a fucking huge load.
Internal bleeding.
Oh, God. Oh, my gosh.
If you take a third thing from the show, don't fuck a horse. Just avoid
No.
No, if you
don't get fucked by a horse.
Okay.
Was the takeaway from Mr. Hands?
I don't know.
Why is his name Mr. Hands?
I don't know.
We don't know what happens if you try to fuck a horse. I imagine it's probably not going to work out for you.
I know horses kick.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually when you come from behind them.
That's an awful... That is an awful approach to that. Plus, horses used to a horse cock. They probably won't even know anything's happening though.
Oh yeah,
like a horse cock.
They probably think it's a fly, and the tail will start going that shit. Yeah.
They probably would. They'd probably try and tail it away.
Yeah, it's like a windshield wiper.
For their ass.
What is happening?
What if girls had that?
Oh, a windshield wiper?
Yeah.
If human women.
For ass pinchers or something.
That'd be great. I mean, it'd stop rapes and shit. If they had
I don't know.
A scorpion tail.
Oh shit, that would. Did you ever see the rape trap?
What's a rape trap?
They gave them away in foreign countries where rape is a real big problem.
I mean, it's a problem no matter what.
So, it's rampant.
Oh, okay.
You put it in your vagina and it has teeth that go with the penis when they stick it in.
It's barbed.
But then it's barbed. So when they try and pull to thrust again, it goes into the cock. And then they can obviously run away at that point. But I feel like as soon as that happens once, then the people that know about the rape traps now are just going to, before they rape you, stick something in there and pull it out.
That's
and then
precarious situation.
Also, if it doesn't completely maim the person that's doing it, they're just going to probably kill
Oh,
you.
They'll be in such shock that she'd have time.
That's true.
I'm sure, but
it should provide ample time to get out of the situation.
Should. I mean, we're not really qualified to talk about that.
I don't know. Are we really qualified to talk about most things we
No,
talked about
that's
today?
true. We're not qualified to talk
This is
about
not we're qualified to talk about this
I
podcast.
can talk about making hamburgers and cook.
I know how to deliver some pizzas. You need to know about supplemental insurance? I got you.
Talk about video games and design. But nope, we're talking about pooping on dead children. At what point does CPR become necrophilia?
What?
At what point does CPR become necrophilia?
When you stick the dick in it?
You gotta get him up somehow.
That stops being CPR.
You gotta pump life into him somehow.
Are you talking about like the mouth to mouth?
Well, however you get him up.
Are we doing the Clerks thing where you fuck a dead body on accident?
That poor woman.
What is it called? A rigor mortis?
Rigor mortis.
Keeps it hard. That's so weird. How many people do you think have molested dead bodies?
Unwillingly?
No. Well, yeah, that's a good question too. But I'm talking like people that work in funeral homes
like
or something.
morticians?
Yeah, morticians.
I don't know.
Like, there's got to be so many people that are just into that, and that's why they take the job.
I would hope
Like, how much oversight is there for a dead body? I really don't think there is much.
I don't give a shit. I mean, if I'm dead, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I don't give a shit, but I'm sure the family gives a shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if a family finds out let's say their wife died, and so the husband's gonna care. The kids are the woman are gonna care, you know. But does a woman care? Obviously not, 'cause she's fucking dead.
She's fucking dead. Fuck her.
Sounds like that's what he did. It seems like this audio does work out pretty good.
Yeah.
Good specs. The iPad, the audio quality was almost too good because it picked up all the error.
Fuck
noise.
Apple.
I get the appeal of Apple because they're all about sleekness, easy to use, easy design. They're for people who don't want to like customize too much or do anything crazy.
Idiots.
Yeah.
People want to overpay.
I like my iPad.
I like Galaxy Tabs too.
Yeah.
Same shit.
The one thing I'll give Apple for sure is their app market is so much better. But that's because everybody designs for that market first. So, like, even with Hearthstone, didn't it first come out on Apple?
Well, yeah,
and then you had to wait for Android.
The good thing you can say about Apple products, especially the mobile side, is that everything is consistent, which is great for programmers because they want to program. They don't have to program a lot. Mm-hmm. With Androids, you have so many different
Android
resolutions that you have to worry about, so many different processor speeds that you have to worry about. Is my game going to run on the new phone and the old phone? So
exactly.
At what point do I draw the lines? Like, okay, you have to have this operating system forward. I get it.
That's what I'm saying. There's an appeal with Apple products, and
there's an appeal.
If you buy a computer, an iPad, and an iPhone, they all work together seamless.
Right, except it is a pain in the dick to transfer files sometimes. To transfer files from a computer to a phone. Yeah, it's a pain in the dick.
Whereas with this, I will
say all the advantages are not to the consumer. All the advantages are to the...
That's very true.
Marketing, business.
Unless you're bad with technology, then probably go with
If you're an idiot,
with an iPhone.
then you have to pay more. Then
you
pay
go with an iPhone.
You have to pay an idiot tax.
But... yeah, they do pay so much more money for them, and there's nothing like grand. Like the new, what was the iPhone 6? Mm-hmm. They're finally extending their phone. Like, do you know how big phones have gotten since then?
Yeah,
like, screens are huge now.
And they backtrack on everything they say.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't need a big phone. They even had commercials about, oh, look at the size of this phone. It's too big. Like, saying this is Galaxy or whatever. And now, like, oh, by the way, we think big phones are cool now.
Yeah.
And
it's a very cult.
The iPad, Steve Jobs was very famous for saying, if you're using a stylus on a pad, you've already fucked up the design. Like, you've already messed up. You never need a pen on a pad. New iPad has a pen.
Does it really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, Steve Jobs is dead. He didn't end up saying the matter.
Yeah.
But this is Apple backtracking on the shit again.
The stylus is useful if you're doing anything real technical with drawing or anything.
If you're drawing, every artist I know doesn't like drawing on a pad.
Mm-hmm.
For doodles and stuff, it's cool, but they
normally have a
It's just like a pad that you're drawing and you're looking at a screen.
Exactly.
And it works so much better.
Yeah, there's something that hooks up that's a pad device, because drawing on the actual pad doesn't work.
No artist
as well.
I know actually likes drawing on that shit.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I like it for quick notes, like on my Galaxy. Sometimes I like just pulling out your note and taking a quick note.
That's what it's designed for, in my opinion, is quick stuff, not technical shit.
But honestly, it's getting to the point where it might just be better to use the voice activation to take notes, because that's even quicker than my hand. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when I take a quick note on a stylus, I just like, what the fuck did I just write? Like, I can't read half of this. But it's kind of amazing how styluses were all the rage, and then people were like, wait, why do we need a stylus? We have like 10 of them. We're born with stylus, so we don't need a stylus.
Well, that was before touch technology was really predominant.
Yeah.
Where it was literally using like pressure sensitive instead of like electrical currents, and now the touch.
Yeah, I don't even know how a touch screen works, because it's definitely not like feeling the pressure.
Some of them do have pressure sensitive ones,
really?
But yeah, most of them are just you're making an electrical current from your.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I never knew how exactly they know you're touching the screen.
Electrical current.
That makes sense. That's crazy to think.
And the way they do multi-touch, at least how I remember, I don't know if the technology's changed, there's actually 2 different planes of sensitivity that is going on. And when it detects both of them being depressed, it'll multiply.
But then that brings up, like, you can use, like, the side of your hand.
Your hand?
Like, they feel like more electricity or something?
Yeah, it's just more doing that. It's more of it being sensed.
It's really neat how they do that.
Yeah.
Have you seen there's this app for board games, basically, where everybody puts their finger on it and it'll like choose one as a start player. That's a really neat app.
That's cool.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know. I like the iPad I have, but I feel like mostly I prefer Google products.
Yeah.
And eventually they got to make them cross-platform, like easy to interact. But the problem is Apple just they don't
have to.
Yeah, they don't have to, and they don't care to. Where Android's like whatever you can put whatever you want on here.
They have so much of the market. They don't care shit either.
And the biggest thing I hate with Apple products, you can't delete like the base apps.
Yep.
It's like, I don't need your fucking music app. I don't need your calendar app. I'll download better apps, like your standard apps. I don't care for.
It just works. Right?
Is that their slogan?
It was. I don't know if it still is. It was back in a couple of years ago.
I will say, whatever iPhone it was, the iPhone 4 or whatever, I seen so many people with broken ones that still worked.
Yeah.
So it's like, it must break easy when it falls, but it's like indestructible on the actual innards.
The glass they use is garbage, pure garbage.
The innards have to be really good.
Half the iPhones I see have cracked screens. This
phone has taken quite a few falls, and as you can see, my case isn't anything special. It's all about that glass, though. Like,
yeah, this one too. It has really good glass. I drop this shit all the time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This thing has definitely taken some falls. And also, my biggest thing is as soon as I see it dropping, I try and get the foot out there to like break the fall with my foot. Stop it from doing any.
I do that at work
real
with
damage.
knives and shit instinctively.
To kick the knife.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, don't do that.
And sometimes I need to stop it. Like sometimes you're taking a piss or something, and you like pull out your phone. And you're like, what am I doing? Like, what if I drop this and just get soaked in piss?
Yeah.
That'd be awful. Anyways, that's probably enough necrophilia and
Apple.
Apple.
I
I'm
don't
glad.
know
I'm glad we brought those together.
That's a good segue. I can see the similarities.
You know, sometimes Apple just shits all over their customers' chests.
They shit all over dead slave immigrant babies while murdering them.
I'm still curious if that could happen with what you were saying. If you fuck somebody, like you're raping them, and with a thrust you murder them, do you also get a necrophilia charge?
Might as fuck it. Might as well. Throw it on
Fuck
there.
it. I mean, you're already raping somebody. You might as well get all the charges they can.
Don't be a dick.
And that concludes this episode. Thank God.
Thank you.